Romans 12 verse 2 presents those two, conformed or transformed. You'll be conformed to this world or transformed by the renewing of your minds. And that's the path of redemption. That's the path of wholeness and healing and joy. And God wants to free us from addictions, free us from, when we get into the discussion about dopamine, what's happening in the brain there is actually a flood of dopamine unnaturally, like by use of a drug, like by use of pornography or other media addictions. The brain gets flooded with it and dopamine receptors just start shutting down. And then you become dependent on that high level of input or more frequent or a new novel experience that then delivers that. And if you don't have that, I've got brain scans in the seminars where you see the pleasure receptors starting to become numbed and muted. And that person just doesn't have as much joy and happiness. And it's like, God wants us to have joy. We're not saying don't enjoy life. We're saying these designed entertainments are not actually designed to deliver sustainable happiness and joy. A high followed by a crash, which leads to a downward spiral. Every addiction there is brings greater depression.
And it's only one of many chemicals that are at play. You have other hormones and neurotransmitters that are at play. And if you look at a Hollywood script, you can follow it with the biochemical reactions that are happening in your body and in your brain. And it's amazing. It's essentially biochemical manipulation.
Absolutely.
Well, and all of that is natural. So
it is natural.
Is that response does it come from only synthetic sources, or can you find that in nature? Like, do we have that natural response in good contexts?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Nature, family, accomplishments, doing hard tasks and getting the payoff, eating healthy natural foods, doing good for others, training, and I'm going to run a 5K or a half marathon, and then it pays off. You get the runner's high. God designed it so that when we follow the path he designed for us, that brings the fruit of the Spirit of joy. Satan is not better at pleasure than God is.
Right.
That's a lie, right? And then you look at people like Nicholas Kardaras, who wrote the book Glow Kids, and he points out in there, he's treated hundreds of heroin addicts and screen addicts, and he says it is easier to treat a heroin addict than a true screen addict.